What's up guys, Omega here and welcome back to GT7 for my attempt at a lap guide around Dragon Trail Gardens Reverse. Some of you guys have been asking me for lap guides, so I thought I'd give it a go. I'm not the most technical person when it comes to this sort of stuff, but I will do my best to try and explain what's going on and hopefully get you a little bit faster around this track. If you do find the video useful at any point, let me know by dropping a like on it. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future content, and also feel free to let me know in the comments what you thought about this, whether you found it useful or not, and let's get into it. So starting off the lap, your time trial starts around here. Do not do what I've just done here. I'm using the Porsche for this one. It's not really clear which car is the standout, but I'm very comfortable in this car around this track, and the Porsche is definitely a solid option. So yeah, you're just trying to get the best run you can over the start finish line to start your lap. So as we cross the start finish line, what you're looking for here is the 100 board on the left hand side. I'm braking in this instance just before it. Downshifting as I brake and then gradually coming off the brakes. I do downshift to first gear just to help with the rotation, and you'll see a little bit of acceleration input. I'm about half throttle and then I give it a little stab and then upshift to second, and this is just helping the car to rotate. And as I go into second gear, I'm still at about 3/4 throttle here. And then after I've cleared the curb on the right hand side, then I plant it. Now the reason that I wait to plant it is because if you do go flat out before you clear that curb, you'll likely spin. So coming up to this next set of corners, and this is a really tricky set of corners, and what you're looking for here is the Michelin sign on the right hand side, and you want to be braking just at that point. Get up on the curb to maximize the width of the track. As you shift down, brake a little, turn the car in to meet the apex on the left, then downshifting to third around the time you hit the inside apex, downshifting to second just before you hit this next apex. And you may notice that I'm using very little braking input. I'm just tapping the brakes to try to get the rotation. I kind of skip this third apex and I'm using the accelerator because I found in the Porsche, when you're on the throttle, the car tends to understeer, and when you come off the throttle, the car tends to oversteer. So once you get used to this, you can really go on and off the throttle to line yourself up perfectly coming out of a corner, but it does take a bit of getting used to. But if you're wondering why I'm on and off the throttle like this is why. So I think I lost a little bit of time here. I didn't quite meet the inside apex. I don't know if you need to, but I did upshift to third gear and I'm back full throttle here. I think if I had have used second gear, it may have been a little bit quicker. You can also go a lot wider here and you can actually dip the right hand wheels over the curb, but you do have to be careful because the curbs can be ruthless here. So coming up to the next corner, I shift up to fourth momentarily, and then as I hit just underneath this sign here, I'm on the brakes, downshifting to second just to get the rotation on the car, then quickly upshifting back to third gear, and then on the throttle before I meet the apex. And again, you'll see me pump the accelerator here, and this is again, I'm trying to balance the car. It's kind of hard for me to explain, but if you practice in the car quite a bit, I think you get what I'm saying. And then coming up for this next corner, you want to try to get over to the right as much as you can. Again, downshifting to second for the rotation, up to third. And again, you'll notice I stab the throttle, off the throttle, back on the throttle, and then keeping it planted. And then trying to get over to the left-hand side as much as possible, upshifting to fourth, and trying to meet this apex on the right-hand side. And as you're coming up to the hairpin, what you're looking out for is the 100 meter board. You'll see the braking input coming in just as I hit that mark. Downshifting all the way to first gear, slowly easing off the brakes. Using first gear for the rotation. Upshifting to second just before I hit the apex. And again, I'm kind of playing with the throttle here and then fully on the power for the exit. You really want to maximize the revs in this car. You may notice that I'm really revving it out, and that's to really maximize the speed. Now as you come up to this next set of corners, they're another tricky set of corners. What you're looking for again is the 100 board on the left, and you'll see the braking input going in just as I hit that mark, and then slowly easing off the brakes, shifting down to second. And what you want to do is try and get the exact middle of the car straight over this sausage. Down to first just for the rotation, back up to second before we hit the apex again, and trying to get the center of the car over this sausage. I didn't quite make it there, but it still works. Back on the throttle to try and push the car over to the left a bit. Back off the throttle. I just touched the brakes here just for a little bit of rotation because I am carrying quite a bit of speed. Leaving the car in second and 100% throttle just as I'm leaving the apex of that corner. And what you want to do here is over to the left, up on the curb to maximize the track width. You'll see this marshal on the left. As he goes off your screen, you want to be off the accelerator. Let the car coast. You don't need to brake. You'll see change in the fence on the left-hand side, and that's where you want to be back on the throttle 100%. Try to kiss the apex on the right-hand side, and use the one on the left-hand side to maximize your exit. And then just flat out to the line, and that's good for a 130.8. So I'll let you see that in full speed, and then I'll have the chase cam view, just so you can see from the outside of the car, where the car is positioned and stuff like that. And I'll see you at the end of the video. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you found it useful, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.